Hi, this is Lisa Somerville for Divinity Designs. Today I'm here to share with you the release for May 2020. This month we are releasing one stamp set, one stamp die duo, one 6x6 paper pad collection, and 5 custom dies. The stamp die duo, Footsteps. This stamp set contains both stamps and dies. Use the dies to die cut the stamp from the images. The stamp set, Ray of Sunshine. The custom dies, Stitched Sunburst. This die measures 4 by 5 1/4. You can also use this die to make shaker cards. Die cut and emboss this die following the directions for your die cutting machine. Embossing the die will bring out the details of the die. I've gone ahead and die cut and embossed the Stitched Sunburst die from white cardstock. Then remove the cardstock from the die. Just like our quilt dies, you're going to have a frame and then all the die cut pieces that were in the frame. To make assembling my card easier, I used adhesive backed paper and then die cut a piece of cardstock. Now using the frame panel, align your edges and adhere in place. I've gone ahead and die cut and embossed a second Stitched Sunburst from yellow cardstock. And because I used adhesive backed paper on the panel underneath, I can easily add those pieces in place. Then die cut your card base using the A2 landscape card base with layer and adhere your panel. Suit jacket and everyday shirt. Both the suit jacket and the everyday shirt die sets require the dress shirt die from the Couture collection die set. This die set contains 12 dies. You'll use the dress shirt die as the base for the everyday shirt die. The sleeves are scored so they'll fold in, so this card will fit in an A2 envelope. Die cut and emboss your dies from cardstock and pattern paper. We're going to start out with the dress shirt die from the Couture collection. Fold that die cut panel on the score line. Use scissors or a paper trimmer to trim away the collar portion of the die cut. Now we're ready to add the everyday shirt die cut panels to the dress shirt die from the Couture collection die set. We're going to add adhesive to the back side of the everyday shirt die cut panels. Add adhesive to the front of the shirt. Do not add adhesive to the sleeves. Turn that over. Line up the edges and adhere to the base card. Again, remember, you're not going to add adhesive to the back side of the sleeve. Repeat with the other side. Add adhesive to the trim, the collar, and the pocket. Line up the edges of the collar. Adhere in place. And then repeat with the other side. Adhere the pocket. And then we're going to add the buttons. I found it easier after die cutting and embossing the buttons to leave them in the die. Add adhesive where you want to add the button. And then continue adding the buttons until they're all in place. ahead and die cut and embossed all the pieces we're going to need to assemble the suit jacket. Again, we're going to start with the dress shirt die. This is going to be our base card. You're going to fold on the score line. Then bring the collar forward and fold on the score lines. You can set that aside while we work on the suit jacket. Add adhesive to the back side of the lapels. Line up with the edge and then adhere in place. And then repeat with the other side. Add the trim for the suit jacket. Now we're going to assemble our card. Add adhesive to the trim for the dress shirt and center in place. Next, add adhesive to the back side of the suit jacket. Line up the edges and secure in place. And then repeat with the other panel. Add adhesive to the collar and then fold in place. Add adhesive to the bow tie and adhere to your card. Then add the suit pocket, the handkerchief, and the buttons to complete your card. Alphabet caps. This is a set of 43 dies, and our new folded card die is the Stair-step pop-out with layers die set. This die set contains 8 dies. The Stair-step pop-out with layers die set contains the Stair-step base die and the Stair-step layering dies. Be sure to emboss the layering dies to bring out the detail of the dies. To complete this card, you'll also need a 5.5 by 8.5 card base. I'm using the A2 Landscape card base with layer die set to complete my Stair-step pop-out with layers card. On 2 of my cards using the Stair-step pop-out with layers die set, I also used the matting rectangle die. You can see how the matting rectangle die adds that pop of color. On this card, I didn't use the matting rectangle. I've gone ahead and die cut and embossed all the pieces that I needed to create the Stair-step pop-out with layers card that's being shown in the video today. First, we're going to work with the Stair-step base. This was die cut and embossed from white cardstock. Add adhesive to the layering panels. Center them on the Stair-step base die and adhere in place. Repeat with the remaining layering die cut panels. Now we're going to use the card base. I'm using the A2 Landscape card base with layer and the matting rectangle die sets. Fold your cardstock on the score line. Then add adhesive to the back side of the matting rectangle die cut panels. Adhere one to the front side of the base card. Adhere the remaining 2 matting rectangles to the inside panel. Again, you don't need to use the matting rectangle if you choose not to. I like to use it because it adds a pop of color behind my layers. Now we're going to work with the Stair-step base die. Your first fold is a valley fold. These next folds are all mountain. These folds are valley. So again, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley. Flip that over. Then use your favorite adhesive to apply adhesive to this panel and this panel. I'm using score tape on the Stair-step base die so that it's securely held on the A2 landscape card base with layer die panel. Remember, we're only adding adhesive to this panel and this side. If using score tape, remove the backing from the tape and then adhere to your base panel. Repeat that process with the other side. Now you can finish embellishing your Stair-step pop-out with layers card. I'm using stamps and dies from both our January and April 2020 Blessings Box subscription kit. You can embellish the blocks on the Stair-step pop-out with layers card using our alphabet caps die set. Our 6x6 paper pad collection is our cool and casual paper pad. This paper pad features 40 designer papers, 4 sheets of each design. For more inspiration, visit our samples gallery, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Pinterest and Instagram.